Your high school sports is excited to be entering its third season and now has expanded to the Tri-Cities area. Your high school sports is brought to you by these great sponsors.
This week's Your High School Sports coming to you today from Volunteers Chevrolet, where they've got some of the best looking cars on the market. You can see what we're sitting in today, Riley and I. She's decked out in her pink for breast cancer awareness. So make sure you stay right here. When we come back, we're going to talk to Scott Meadows, and then we're going to catch up with Coach Lingenfeld, and then we're going to wrap things up. So make sure you stay right here on The Knox for more of Your High School Sports coming up next.
Hello, I'm Dr. John Rader, and I want to welcome you to our cosmetic and family dental practice located here in Sevierville, Tennessee. Our office provides a wide array of dental treatments and services from preventive and restorative dentistry to cosmetic enhancement, implant restorations, and the Zoom teeth whitening system. Over the past 12 years of practice, we have built a strong reputation for state-of-the-art dentistry with compassionate care. I invite you to give us a call or locate us on our website at seviervilledentist.com.
This is the clay, expertly crafted, that became the dishes on our tables. This is the grain, traditionally stone ground, that became the fresh-baked bread we serve every day. And this is the home, famously designed, that became the most unique setting for casual dining in Pigeon Forge. From our custom dishware to our delicious food, you can see the ingredients that make the Pottery House Cafe special. The Pottery House Cafe and Grill. Come experience our quality and our heritage.
Just look at all those freshly made Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm sure it makes you want one or a dozen right now. So come visit our locally owned and operated Krispy Kreme donuts in Pigeon Forge. Our Krispy Kreme donuts are made fresh daily, our service is fast and friendly, and the taste will put a smile on anyone's face. Krispy Kreme is a fundraising favorite, so call us today to help support your school or community fundraising efforts. Our delivery truck is there when you need us. Krispy Kreme Donuts on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge.
Welcome back to Your High School Sports. I'm Roddy Woods, and I'm speaking to Coach Scott Meadows, head coach of the Pigeon Forge Tigers. Coach, first question I want to ask you, how are you feeling?
I appreciate it. I'm feeling okay. I'm still standing vertical, so we're good.
All right. How did let's talk about that big win you had Friday night against Chucky Doak, 41-20. Give me some details on that game.
Well, it started out really good, and we returned the open kickoff down to about the 9, and then ran 2 plays and put it in, and then very next possession we had the ball. We Turner Whaley threw a 65-yard touchdown pass to Dustin Schultz, and I think we ran 18 plays first half and had 41 points at halftime, and so. We didn't have the ball a long time, but we were efficient whenever we did.
Sounds like your offense is kind of clicking the way you want it to go, right?
Yeah, it was. It really was, and I was real pleased with everything. And I think the time of possession was unbelievable on their side. It was, I think first half we had the ball a little over 6 minutes, and they had it for 17 minutes or something. Mm-hmm. So, but it was. We did well whenever we had the ball, and I was real pleased with the way we were executing.
Talk about your defense. How well did your defense play? I know it was a win, 41-20,
but was those 20 points scored late?
Well, it was 41-13 at halftime, and they scored right before halftime, make it 21-13, and then they scored sometime in the fourth quarter. And one thing that I liked probably more so than anything was our guys were flying around and playing physical and playing their responsibilities. And they got us a couple times on. So they run that wing tee and some misdirection stuff, but they didn't have any long runs or whatever. They did put some long drives together, and that was a little bit of a concern. But other than that, I thought our defense played really well.
I know that when we talked last week, you were kind of concerned about that wing tee, but it sounds like you shut it down.
Well, I mean, for the most part, I mean, they did some good stuff, and their quarterback got loose on a little waggle outside of her edge, and made a good move and ran one in. But all in all, played very physical and played pretty well.
Leading into this game Friday night against Johnson County, how's the health of the football team?
Well, we're a little banged up, to be honest with you. We've got Anthony Belmonte. He's probably out for the ball game with an ankle. It's a non-contact injury. He was, he just rolled his ankle, and so he's probably out. Other than that, I feel like we're pretty healthy, and we've got everybody back.
Let's talk about Johnson County this Friday night. What do you know about them?
Well, a couple things. Number one, their head coach I actually hired him whenever I was at Sequoia High School to be my defensive coordinator.
So it's a family affair then, huh?
Well, I don't know. I demoted him after the first game.
Okay. He's got a little revenge factor then.
Exactly. So, but it's they're awfully good. They really are. I mean, they're not real big, but neither were we. And the last 3 games, we got all 3 game films, and they're running their offense very efficiently. And one thing that I've noticed probably more so than anything is, defensively they get after it really well.
They actually beat up on Northview this past week. Did you see that film?
I have, and they did some really good stuff. I mean, they really did, and they got after them really well, and they've got the thing that I like about them. I don't really like preparing for them, but the thing I like about them is how hard they do play. They only play 2 guys, start 2 guys both ways, and but they got after Northview pretty good.
Are they a big physical team?
No, they're not real big. That's the one thing that I've noticed. They've got they're not real big. They've got decent size in some places, but they're not overly big like playing in Elizabethton or something like that. By no stretch of imagination, but they do a lot of good stuff, but they are they're not real big, but they are very physical. What
about speed? Do they match up? Are there any matchups that will give you problems in the game?
Well, yeah, they do. They've got I feel like quite a few athletes running around out there, and they try to spread you out some, but they're mainly a wing team, and they do some really good stuff. I mean, it's got me really worried about this.
So, an outcome of this game, you guys got 2 more games, and then we talk. Can we talk playoffs then?
Yeah, that'll be fine. We got to win these next 2, and hopefully we do that. We can host that first round.
All right, Coach. Coach Scott Meadows, head coach of the Pigeon Forge Tigers. We'll be right back here on Your High School Sports right after this.
Sully Select in Sevierville is the place to get your daily freshly squeezed non-pasteurized orange juice. Sample our delicious strawberry orange juice too and leave with a pint, quart, or a gallon to take home. Sully Select is a place to pick up Granger County tomatoes, grass-fed beef, and holy smoked salt spices and rubs. Sully Select has granola naturals and local honey from Mojo Bee Company.
Visit Sully Select on East Main Street next to Sonic in Sevierville.
From 1989, Tomo has been one of the first sushi restaurants in Knoxville.
I love it. This is one of my favorite restaurants in Knoxville.
We have carried on with an age-old tradition atmosphere and menu, including the Japanese bento box.
Food is outstanding.
Tomo is open for lunch and dinner and extra late for all you late-night sushi lovers, Friday and Saturday nights.
I love the sushi. It's always really fresh.
Tomo even offers half-price sushi on Sunday, 5 to 7 p.m. Tomo, neighborhood price and friendly service on West Hill Crossing Plaza.
Advantage of great deals like this new Ford Focus
or this new Ford Fiesta.
Your choice.
For as low as $199 a month. And don't forget about the great deals on the new Ford Fusion for as low as $249 a month.
Right in the heart of Morristown.
Clayball's Campground and Cabins and Clayball's Market and Grill have been family owned and operated since 1978. Clayball's Campground is spacious with 320 sites, including vacation homes and cabins. Great location for family reunions and large groups with entertainment on the weekends. Clayball's Market offers Exxon gas, a full grocery line, and camping supplies. Their delicious deli provides fantastic food and daily specials. Visit Clayball's Market or make reservations at Clayball's Campgrounds and Cabins, located on 405 Wears Valley Road, Pigeon Forge. Lee's Total Health Pharmacy has 2 locations to better serve you. Our 725 Parkway location offers a full-service pharmacy with a large selection of quality home medical equipment, from sports braces to wheelchairs, and a stock varied selection of home care products to assist you daily. Health education classes and a take-charge weight program are available. Lee's Total Health Pharmacy at 1024 Middle Creek features a compound lab providing medication in the form of pain creams, hormone replacement, and much more. Lee's Total Health Pharmacy. We specialize in your good health.
Welcome back to Your High School Sports. I'm joined now by 2 Sevier County Smoky Bear players, Devontae Matthews and Deuce Wallace. And we'll talk a little bit about, to Deuce first. Deuce, talk about the game you guys played up at Stone Castle this past week.
Well, it was definitely a neat experience. You know, it's one of the most historic stadiums in all of Tennessee. You know, we knew coming into that game that Tennessee High was going to pound the ball up the middle and try to control the clock, which they did in that first half. And, you know, we went to the halftime tied. But came out in the second half, scored 3 touchdowns in the third quarter, and kind of put the game away. And
Devontae, you know, it looks like they're kind of keying on you. Is that something that coach is putting in, and you're being a decoy? You know, is that good or is that bad?
I mean, it's good in good ways, and it could be bad in bad ways, only on my part. But, I mean, it's normal for me. I mean, I just play a lot more defense when that happens, and then let the other guys on offense. We have a lot of guys that can make plays on the offensive side. Like we were just talking about Dorian Banks. Kid's had 6 touchdowns in 2 games. I mean, he's a pretty solid back there. But, I mean, it's just one of those things you just have to do when you're just getting keyed on. You just got to do your job and run the routes and run people off and get other people open. That's part of the game of football.
And back to you, Deuce. Let's talk about having Dorian back and him, you know, scoring 6 touchdowns. Does that take the pressure off of you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it takes the pressure off everyone. You know, when he's healthy and he's 100% and doing his thing, like I said, 6 touchdowns in the last 2 games is pretty great. And, you know, whenever we get the run game going, that opens up the pass game for us. But, you know, kind of on Friday, you know, he had 2 huge plays. You know, he had a screen go to the house and then a sweep go to the house. And, you know, when you have stuff like that, it makes the game a lot easier.
It's easier to just stand back there and hand off the ball. You don't have to do anything. Back to you. You say, I heard you say something in the last comment about defense. Are you more now geared toward playing defense?
No, sir. That's just, I'm one of those guys that don't ever come off the field. But, I mean, it just depends on how the game's going. If they need me more on the defensive side, then I'll come out 2 or 3 plays on the offensive side, catch my breath, then go back in. And then defense, I will not come out unless I'm down or something like that. But I wouldn't say that I'm just on the defensive side or offensive side. I'm kind of always out there. But it just depends on how the game's flowing. It's pretty much where I'm going to stay at on that game.
All right. The game of the week would be Morristown West. Talk about the Trojans.
The Trojans, they're a good football team. They got a good defense, but, I mean, we were talking today, we got a good offense. It's supposed to be a shootout, so, I mean, we're going to find out Thursday who's going to come ready to play. I mean, Morristown's going to bring a good football team down here, and hopefully we show up ready to play, and hopefully it's going to be a good ball game at the end.
Yeah, like Devontae said, they have one of the best defense, supposedly in the state, giving up 6 points a game. We also have one of the best offenses in the state. So it's definitely going to be one of the best games all year. Probably, it's a district championship, which, like Coach Lingo was saying earlier, we won 5 out of the last 6, so we're trying to bring that crown back to Sevier County. But it's a big football game. It's on TV. Everybody's going to get to see it. We're just going to have to see who comes ready to play.
All right, guys. Deuce Wallace, Devontae Matthews, 2 Sevier County Smoky Bears when they take on Morristown West this Thursday night. So make sure you tune your TV in on it. We'll be right back here on Your High School Sports right after this.
I'm the world's worst cleaning lady. I'm here in your home having a pretty spectacular Tuesday. But I don't notice the loose rug at the top of your stairs. And that's about to become an issue for me. And if you've got the wrong home insurance coverage, my medical bills could get expensive. So get Allstate.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands? Call Kevin Yates for a quote today. Five Oaks Tires, carrying top name brands Michelin Tires and BF Goodwrench Tires. Visit 5oakstire.com. Located on 1425 Parkway, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, or call 5 Oaks Tires at 865-453-3469.
Volunteer Chevrolet is your friendly hometown dealership, proudly serving the region for over 20 years. At Volunteer Chevrolet, you'll get great offers on select new vehicles, from Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs. So come see the new look at Volunteer Chevrolet and take advantage of their great deals. Volunteer Chevrolet is still easy to find on 400 Winfield Dunn Parkway, Sevierville. Volunteer Chevrolet is a proud sponsor of YourHighSchoolSports.com, Sevier County.
Welcome back to Volunteer Chevrolet. Coach Tony Lingenfeld has joined us now. Coach, big win last week up at the Stone Castle. Talk about that win.
Well, it was a tough ball game. Tennessee High has a very good running game. They're more old school, and they try to run a 3-4 yard, at a time at you. Just try to control the football and keep possessions to a minimum. And it was tied at halftime, 14-14, and we came out and got a few touchdowns. Got 3 touchdowns there in the third quarter, and got a lead and made it a lot more comfortable.
Going up there to that place, historic Stone Castle. You had that travel. I know your team has traveled a couple times this year, but that has to be a place that you want to go up there because the fans they're good. They follow their football program really well. How did Sevier County fans? Did they follow you up to Bristol?
Oh yeah, our fans always come and watch us. We travel well. We've got a really good fan base.
Let's assess things. We kind of talked to Devontae, and he talked about how things were. You kind of using him as a decoy now. Is that am I correct, or is it just things that they're taking away from you guys?
Well, people try to take Devontae away from us. We're not using him as a decoy. We'd like to get him the ball as much as we can. We'd like to get it to him at least 15, 20 times a game if we could. But, a lot of people play over the top, and they'll be underneath on him and over the top. So sometimes it makes it tough to get him the ball. But we move him around. And he hadn't had a whole lot of touches the last 2 weeks, but that's not by design.
But you have had a player to step up, a player that you thought would come to life. I guess he has, and that's Dorian Banks. He has had 6 touchdowns in the last 2 games. Talk about Dorian's play.
Well, Dorian is the difference maker when they take people out of the box and we go to the running game. Dorian's a big play guy. You know, all Dorian needs is a small crack, and he can take it all the way with his speed, and he has played well.
Assess the overall play of your football team last Friday.
Well, I thought we played well as a team. I thought we won all 3 phases. I thought our kicking game really played well. We had to punt 4 times in the game, and that's something we don't do a lot of, and we usually put a lot of points on the board, but Connor Ritz and our punt team did an excellent job, you know, flipping the field on them. He averaged about 38 yards a punt, and we also covered well. And defensively, even though we gave up a lot of yards, we played really well in the second half, and we really started playing our responsibilities instead of looking for the ball, because they're doing a lot of misdirection in there, and we didn't play that well up front. But the second half, I thought we played really well, you know, to get them, to make them punt. And I was also proud of our offensive team for not being conservative.
Right.
You know, when you play a team that tries to limit your possessions, sometimes you get conservative, and because you don't know when you might get the ball back.
Okay.
But we kept running our offense and didn't have as many yards. We only had 41 plays.
Okay.
And but you know, that was because of the design by them. They did a good job keeping the ball away from us and getting some yards on the ground.
Let's switch gears to talk about Morristown West. This is the game that both teams have been looking forward to pretty much all season long. You knew it was going to come down to against Morristown West this Thursday night. Let's talk about the Trojans. What do they bring, and what will you have to do to win this game?
Well, we were hoping we'd be where we are, and that was one of our goals, to be playing for a championship in this last week of the season, and for us. And Morristown West, that's a team we have a lot of respect for. Have a lot of respect for their coach and their coaching staff, and they're just a solid football team. They've got 8 starters back on defense, and they're without a doubt the best defense we've seen. And they're also very good on offense. They've got some weapons with their tailback and Calvin, that receiver. They're a good football team, and they also are solid in the kicking game.
So let me ask you, would it probably safe to say they probably are the best team you faced all year?
No, I would say that. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
What does Sevier County have to do in all phases of the game? You say win the kicking game, win the offense and defense, but I want to hear it from Coach.
Well, we've got to be efficient on offense. You know, we've got to be efficient on first down. We can't afford to be in second and long and third and long against a good defense. You know, we've got to get some yards, 4 and 5 yards on first down, to where we're at least that, so we're not, you know, trying to, you know, convert on third and long. I mean, that's hard to do anytime, especially against a good defense. Defensively, we've got to tackle well. We've got to limit their big plays and just tackle well. And of course, the kicking game, we've just got to do our job there and not let anything bad happen. Just when we do have to punt, we need to be efficient at it and limit their yards on returns on the other part of the kicking game.
Let me ask you this. Having Dorian back and the way he is playing, 6 touchdowns in the last 2 games, does that take the pressure off your quarterback, Deuce?
Well, I think it helps. You know, we've been in years past when we would get 5 defenders in the box, and like Maryville last year and the year before, where, you know, they would defend us with 5 people in the box and we couldn't run the football.
Right.
And you know, that's people are they're going to try to stop our passing game, but you know, Dorian adds another dimension there with his ability to take it all the way. And he's also very good at just getting what's there, getting those 3 and 4 yards of carry. You know, he's a big plus for our team.
Big game this Thursday night. Remember that. It's Thursday night. It's Sevier County's last game of the season, regular season. They will make it into the playoffs. But Morristown West comes to town Thursday night. It will be for the region championship, so make sure you get out. It should be a big game between two big-time football teams. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Dr. John Rader, and I want to welcome you to our cosmetic and family dental practice located here in Sevierville, Tennessee. Our office provides a wide array of dental treatments and services from preventive and restorative dentistry to cosmetic enhancement, implant restorations, and the Zoom teeth whitening system. Over the past 12 years of practice, we have built a strong reputation for state-of-the-art dentistry with compassionate care. I invite you to give us a call or locate us on our website at seviervilledentist.com.
This is the clay, expertly crafted, that became the dishes on our tables. This is the grain, traditionally stone ground, that became the fresh-baked bread we serve every day. And this is the home, famously designed, that became the most unique setting for casual dining in Pigeon Forge. From our custom dishware to our delicious food, you can see the ingredients that make the Pottery House Cafe special. The Pottery House Cafe and Grill. Come experience our quality and our heritage.
Just look at all those freshly made Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm sure it makes you want one or a dozen right now. So come visit our locally owned and operated Krispy Kreme donuts in Pigeon Forge. Our Krispy Kreme donuts are made fresh daily, our service is fast and friendly, and the taste will put a smile on anyone's face. Krispy Kreme is a fundraising favorite, so call us today to help support your school or community fundraising efforts. Our delivery truck is there when you need us. Krispy Kreme Donuts on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge.
Welcome back to Your High School Sports. It's time now to announce the All-State Player of the Week, sponsored by Yates Insurance right here in Sevierville. Our Player of the Week is Turner Whaley. He had 3 touchdown passes. He was 4 for 8 for 156 yards in the big win last week against Chucky Doe. Our Player of the Week is Turner Whaley, sponsored by All-State Yates Insurance right here in Sevierville. We'll be right back. Well, fans, I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Your High School Sports, coming to you today from Volunteer Chevrolet. We had a great show. Coach Lingenfeller was here, talked about the big win that his guys had up at the Stone Castle in Bristol, and we caught up also with Coach Scott Meadows. They had a huge victory against his arch nemesis, Chucky Doe, 41-20, and plus also his quarterback, Turner Whaley, was our All-State Player of the Week, sponsored by Yates Insurance. Remember, Riley is supporting her pink. Remember, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so support breast cancer awareness. This is Roddy Woods, and we'll see you next time right here on Your High School Sports.